We're just listening to In the Kitchen like a stir fry. What does it say? In the kitchen, whisk it like a stir fry. Joey's makes fun of me for like my messing up of lyrics. Hey! So welcome, everyone. So as you're hopping on, let us know where you're from, where you're listening from in the world. Post below. Make sure that you give us some little hearts across the screen as well. We'll give everybody a minute to hop on. Welcome, welcome to the Hollastic Life Show. If you're just joining, hop on and let us know where you are listening from, where you're watching from. Hopefully you're listening and watching. But we have been known to have people like Bruce vacuuming while he's watching the show. So nice. It is a possibility. So are you ready? Did you get it shared?
Oh no, we're good.
All right. So
how many people are on?
We got a couple people on right now.
Where you guys from?
Which we got a couple hopping on and off. Welcome, Brittany. You put your little one to sleep.
Or is he watching the show with you?
Or is he watching with you, all smiley faced and ready?
Your son is so cute. I can't wait to see the new baby.
Yes. All right. So we just wanted to say welcome to the Hollastic Life Show with Jay and Jay.
Brought to you by 2J Holla. I'm Jay.
And I'm Jenny.
Holla.
Holla. Mahala. And
why do you always say mahala after that? It's just...
I don't know. I get excited. All the holla, holistic life, holla, mahala. It's just fun. I find it really fun and exciting.
All right.
And she said the little ones with Brian.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Put daddy to work. I dig it.
Yes. So please remember to share, like, comment, give the hearts across the screen.
Wait, how do you?
Hearts? You just make a heart.
I feel like we're throwing
Why
up
are you
gang
throwing
sign.
up like your pinkies?
I feel like we're throwing up gang sign. I feel weird. Anyway.
Well, probably because it looks weird. Just kidding. It looks really cool. Uh-oh. Careful now.
What? What's Selffulfilling?
I don't know. I don't know what all that means.
Oh my God.
Hey, Dr. Dana, welcome to the show.
I feel like I gotta, every time Dr. Dana pops up, I feel like I gotta be professional. Just kidding.
No, we don't. We feel like being goofy and fun. So remember to like, share, comment, invite your friends, because we are getting a lot of one-on-one conversations with those of you who join, whether it's live or after the fact, saying how impactful and beneficial these shows are. So the more people that we can get on the shows, the more reach, the more people we can help. And we have some really cool business ideas, but we have to grow the show.
We love the show, but we're biased. So, I mean, you guys should love the show too. So you should invite more people to love the show. And then the show will expand. Anyway.
Well, and also remember there's a way to do live notifications. So you can get notifications when we're going live.
Which is every Sunday at 8 p.m.
Eastern.
Usually.
Wait.
All the time.
I was like, well, if we happen to be in a different time zone, then it'd be 7 p.m. Central.
You guys
6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Okay.
Moving on.
So last week's show, we talked about the importance of staying healthy as you age and staying active as you age. And we talked about some really powerful concepts. We talked about how getting older
doesn't mean you're old.
And we also talked about the 1% better concept. So if you're just 1% better than you were before.
Sometimes we feel like we need to go all in, we need to change, do a complete 180. But if you just take a step, like that means you're further than you were the day before.
The smallest.
And then if you continue just to work on taking that step forward, you're making progress. And that's what it's about. It's not about perfection. It's about progress.
Yes. And how to achieve the fountain of youth. We talked about that.
So you got to watch the show. If you missed the show, go to our page and
go to videos, and they're all there.
And we'll put a link after the show to that show, directly to that show, so you can catch that show. That was, I must segue, that was actually the most watched show without having a guest on.
Ooh, so you guys really like?
Yeah.
When we talk about aging and how to stay active.
So I mean,
how cool is that?
It was cool. It wasn't as many views as we have with the guests, but it was the most views watched, like by ourselves.
And that's thank you to you guys, because you guys have shared, comment, liked. It helped.
That's kind of awesome.
All right, so getting into today's show.
Jenny loves this. Actually, we both love this.
Yeah, we both love this. It's really about the words you speak, the power of words, and the words that you speak and think today are what formulates your future. So everything that you speak and think today molds your future.
Yep.
And the big thing to remember with this is that you are in control of your life. Okay, yeah, you've heard that before. I mean, that's kind of borderline getting cliche, but sometimes I feel like we forget that that's the case because maybe these things are happening or the world's spinning around you and you're like, what's going on?
I think that today a lot of the words we use are just used so subconsciously we don't think about the power that they have. And we're in a society that's so desensitized to a lot of things due to what we listen to, what we watch, but all that fuels like how we think and how we feel, which is super, super important. But I don't think we should start being more self-aware of the power of these words that we use, not only to ourselves, but in our circle of friends, when we talk to others, talk to loved ones, and just in general conversation. I'm saying it brings me cases I use
Thanks,
a lot, so I'm being self-aware of using the word but it's like being self-aware even with like ourselves in those conversations with others, because those words may affect someone else's day, and we might not even think about the power of that.
Well, and I mean, the way that your life is and some of the things that may be coming up in your life, it's a mirror. Like your life and your circumstance in your life are mirroring back to you those words and thoughts and things you talked about in the past. And we'll break into that a little bit more. It's not as simple as just saying that, right?
I agree.
Because if the words were like, I would love to see an elephant, and then if it popped up, like that would be insane.
That'd be kind of freaky.
Right? Like there's more to it than just the words. It's all the feelings behind it.
I wouldn't want to see an
But
elephant.
a good like, for example, when I talk about how it mirrors in your life, I wouldn't want to either. How it mirrors back to you in your life is like, let's say you meet some people and you're like, oh wow, they really annoy the crap out of me. Well, maybe there's something in that individual that's reflecting back on yourself that you do. Or maybe, like it's just being aware and having those curiosity questions. It may not always be a one size fits all, but it's really just being aware of your life and seeing where everything is. Janice, hi. And I'm sorry, I don't know how to say Sion.
Okay.
Sion's name, hi. I didn't
like
know if that was your friend.
Looking at me like I know how to say Sion.
Saiyan. Sion, no. Hi, Sion. Thanks for joining. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. If you phonetically put it in the comments, I'll say it right for you. So basically, life is. Sorry. Anyways, also the other thing that we want to just really talk about here is that how words are energy. Every word you say has a certain amount of energy behind it, and it's like a declaration out to the universe. It's that coupled with the action, because like I said, I want a Ferrari, boom, it's right there. No, there's actions that lead to those things.
True.
And we talked about this earlier, like more negative words and negative thoughts and negative feelings carry a lot more energy, and they attract that into your life a lot quicker, because a lot of times it's easier to complain.
Right.
Don't you think it's easier to talk negative and think negative, especially if you have people around you who are feeding into you with that? I mean, depends on where you're at.
I don't know. I would agree to disagree with that. I don't think it's necessary. It's
that is your friend. Jose.
Anyway, it's not necessarily that it's easier. It's becomes like I said before, it's become second nature. Like if you start the habit of talking to yourself or using more positive vernacular, big word, more positive vernacular,
Google it if you don't know what it means.
It becomes habit. So it's not that it's more easy to speak negative. I think that since we're surrounded by that so much negativity, just like if You have a group of friends who act a certain way, versus, I say a certain way, like a group of negative friends who always complain versus a group of friends who were always uplifting and positive. The group that you're around, the majority of the time, that is the way that you're going to take on the habits of that group. So I don't think it's necessarily easier to speak negative. That's just what we become used to. So it's become a norm rather than being easy. And we can agree to disagree.
I mean, I get it, but it feels like sometimes, it's almost like can be a self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
To be negative?
Sometimes.
I'll agree to disagree.
I'm not saying that is 100%, but sometimes when you're in that space,
I'll agree to disagree.
It's that self-pity.
I don't see that as fulfilling, but I'll agree to disagree.
I don't see it as fulfilling either. I don't think it's fulfilling at all. But like I said, like if you're talking to a coworker and you're both complaining about the same thing, and you're talking negatively, all of that energy continues to build into each other, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because you're trying to prove why your boss is so horrible, or your company is so horrible, or why a situation is so horrible.
All right,
so it continues to go into each other.
We can move. I still don't think it's easy. I think it's just what we choose to do in that instance.
I think it's easy because you continue to go in, but that's fine. We'll drop that and leave it for another time. But the whole point is like when you're talking about words or energy and the things that you say, like, have you ever said something along the lines of, this always happens to me? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but the question is for you, think about yourself. Have you ever said something like, this always happens to me? Or even think about a day where you wake up and you get out of bed and maybe you spill something on your outfit.
Well, first off, if you're sleeping in the clothes, you're going to get out of bed.
You get out of bed, you get dressed. Why are you being so literal today? I'm so confused on why you're being so literal. It drives me crazy. But I'm sure you love it. I love it too. You're so literal. So basically you get out of bed, you put on your clothes for the day, then you leave for the day and you spill something. And you're like, oh my God, why does this always happen to me? I always have all this stuff happen. And then you run into a door, you stub your toe, something goes wrong at work, you miss an appointment, you get stopped at every red light on the way home. I mean, it just continues to unfold from there.
Right.
I mean, has this ever happened to you before? If so, put like the little wavy hand up. And it's almost like when you were saying those things, like, this always happens to me, you continue to attract that energy to you. I mean, that's really the point of what we were talking about. It's like when you're saying stuff like that, it continues to attract those type of things to you. The universe does not know the difference between negative or positive. It just knows the energy behind the words that you're saying.
Agreed.
Oh, wow. You agree with me this time?
Carry on.
All right. So we wanted to go in. Wait. Oh, gosh. Rachel said, I may or may not say that every time I knock my knee on the bed in the middle of the night. She says, where did that bed come from? Ouch.
Are you used to sleeping on the floor, Rachel? Who put this bed here?
Hi, Adanelli. Thanks for joining. If you guys are just joining, we're Jenny and Jay, The Hollastic Life, powered by 2J Holla. All right, so we were going to go into dirty words. Dirty words. Like, not like bleep, 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 hashtag, $, exclamation point. Not those type of words. Not all those words. We're talking about the dirty words that are actually, you may not even realize that you're saying. And these words actually come from one of the like appendixes in the Rock Your Lifestyle book. It comes from the back. I wrote a whole section on appendix dirty words. And so I have a bunch of different sections. And so we looked through this and I actually came up with 3 different sections, 3 categories. So you've got I words, you have negative words, and then you have negative actions and feelings. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down and give you examples of each one of these sections and then give you an idea of what this could be in your life so you can start paying attention to it and see if you can catch it and then we'll give you a couple ideas on how to switch it. I mean, granted, this is a short live show, so we can't give you, like, there's not enough time, right?
I wish there was more
I
time.
wish, like, we could do like a whole half-day course on this. Easy. All right, so if we start with the first category, that's the I words. So that's I can't, I'm not, I don't. And by the way, this is a good time to take out pen and paper and take some notes, because we're really going to be breaking into some things. And if you're one of those people like Jay, who's really literal, and you heard me say, we have 3 types of words and 3, you're like, okay, so I'm helping to keep it all in order for you. So 3 categories were I words, negative words, and negative actions and feelings. The first category is I words, and we gave you 3 different ideas. There's a lot more in the Rock Your Lifestyle book, but the first category is the I words, which is I can't, I'm not, and I don't. So for example, I can't lose weight. I can't do that. I can't go to XYZ function. What else?
I can't save money.
Keep going. Give some more ideas. We were flowing at dinner. I'm trying to include you in the conversation.
I'm in the conversation.
Let's
what are you
go.
talking about?
Speed it up.
That wasn't my word.
So, and then I'm not.
I'm
not good enough.
Yeah. I'm not skinny, you know, I'm not happy.
I'm not old enough. I'm not happy enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not fat enough. The
list goes on, as you can see.
It keeps going. And then I don't.
Oh.
I don't have enough time.
I don't know.
I don't have enough resources.
I don't care.
Ooh.
Okay, maybe that wasn't a good one.
No, it was a good one.
Oh,
but
you just looked at me like that.
I don't know. I kind of took it personally for some reason. Woo. There was no reason. I just kind of was like, whoa, I don't care what happened. But another one is I don't have enough money. And so, like, think about, we'll dig into this one specifically. I don't have enough time, money, resources, money, fill in the blank with what it is you're saying in your life. And if it's, I don't have enough time, I mean, this is an easy one to give an example, is if I don't have enough time. I mean, everybody has the same 24 hours in a day, which I'm sure you've heard.
Of course.
So if you don't have enough time, it's just a matter of looking at your schedule and realigning your priorities to create and make time for the things that are most important to you. If it's, I don't have enough money, I mean, we got into a really good conversation over dinner today, is I don't have enough money. I mean, sure, maybe there is not enough money in the bank. Maybe that is a truth, right? But it's the energy behind continuing to say that over and over and over. So it's like that, it's more of like that victim mentality. It's more of that lower energy versus the minute that you decide and change the frame to turn it into, how can I create more money?
Right.
How can I find more money? How can I reallocate more money? So then you start going into a more empowered energy that's helping you to look and say, okay, where am I spending money that's not aligning with my goals? Or how can I put away 10, 5, 20, 100, $1,000 a week based on, you know, your scenario, your financial scenario? How can I put away X amount of money towards my dream vacation and towards my health or towards a coach or towards something that you want to do?
With that, people want to, just with anything, we're looking for that instant gratification, that instant satisfaction. That now we live in a society that's just so, like, we live in a microwave society, you know, and even now the microwave isn't fast enough. So we want things like right now, instead of, you know, taking that time. Like, I remember, I used to save change. Like, I used to, in high school, this was actually in high school, when I got my lunch money, I didn't eat lunch in school because I saved my lunch money. So anyway, I'm not going to age myself with high school, but I saved my lunch money.
It was like 5 years ago.
And I would save that and add up. And it went from, you know, saving the lunch money to saving all my dollar bills. And then that would add up, and then to saving all my $1 and $5 bills. And when I had change, I would have change, and I would wrap my change and go to the bank and get like the dollar bills and when I hit a certain number of dollar bills, I'll take that back to the bank and get XYZ. And so it switched into this thing of not having money to, creating these vehicles that eventually added up. And a little bit goes a long way. Like every time she sees a pennies on the ground, she picks it up.
I always pick them up. So now I'm curious, when you see pennies, nickels, like things that nowadays are considered lower value, do you pick up pennies? If you pick up pennies, either throw us some hearts across the screen or post below and be like, I pick up pennies.
Or are you one of those people when you go to the store and like, do you give the cashier exact change? I never give exact change because I want my change, because my change is going to come back to me in a certain way. Like my mom always does that. She has a purse full of change and she always gives exact change. Like, what are you doing? You can put that in the bank.
Right. I mean, I always pick up pennies and I'm so grateful. And when I say the words, like I always see money and money comes to me easily and naturally, I tend to see more pennies and nickels and dimes and quarters on the ground. I'm working on getting those to be dollar bills, y'all, but it's okay. It's coming. And it's always important to be aware of that. So when you don't have enough money, and that's what you're saying, I don't have money, or even think about like when you're out and about with friends and there's something that you maybe want to buy, or there's something that they're buying and they're like, hey, buy this with me or whatever. It's easy to say, I don't have enough money, but you could just own, you do have enough money possibly,
right?
But maybe you just don't choose to spend it that way, or you don't choose to buy whatever that is.
Right.
So if a friend is maybe pressuring you, or there's like that social interaction of like, oh, I don't have money, I don't have any money for that. It's kind of like, bullcrap. You do have money. You're just not choosing to spend it that way. So that's another aspect as well, because I know some friends who make a lot of money. They just maybe aren't choosing to spend it that way. And it creates that energy for you where it's more empowering.
I agree.
All right. So now that we hacked into that one, hey, Janice said she always picks up pennies. And John said, same way with saving the dollar bills and change.
There you go.
We have a change thing in our house, and we always save it. And then Jay rolls it up. So he went back to his high school days.
It matters.
It does.
She'll be thanking me in like 5 years.
I'm so excited.
When I have like 10 G's stashed under a floorboard, and she's like,
pennies.
No.
Wouldn't that be dope? Though?
No, it would not.
It'd be a lot of pennies, but you're gonna up them for dollars and fives and tens and
10 G's and pennies. No, that is not exciting. Not at all.
I'd take any G's in any format. Anyways, so the second one, for those of you who are writing this down and literal and want everything, you analytical, the number 2 one is the negative words. So a couple that we pulled from the list of dirty words in the Rock Your Lifestyle book is but, should, and try. So for example, with the but, it's like when you say, I want to lose weight, but I'm too busy.
Or,
I want to go.
But whatever.
But whatever.
But whatever.
I don't get it.
Just but whatever.
But anything. Now I turned into literal. He like shifted his literal onto me. So it's like when you say something and then you basically negate the first thing with but, and then you add something else.
But it's one of those things, though. I think that's just ingrained so deep that we just don't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But this, but that, I want to hang out with friends, but I want to start my own business, but, I want to get healthier, but, whatever. And I think it's an excuse and a cop-out, actually.
And like you said, it's so ingrained. I bet that you're saying it right now, potentially on some things. So, the key of this show today is to help bring some of this and bubble some of it up to the top so you can pay attention, because on the things where you're saying it, it could be creating roadblocks for you.
And hopefully you'll catch yourself, like, even after this show, like, even you planted seeds, you'll be talking to somebody and you'll be like, but you'll be like, damn it.
So Rachel gave a good one. I'm sorry, but.
Right.
It's like it negates the first part of the conversation. So that's one of them. Should is another one.
That's why I say, sorry, not sorry.
That's just mean. Okay, Deadpool.
Whatever.
So the should one is really, the should ends up being a comparison type thing.
Right.
I should have kids by now. I should have a house by now. I should have my business at 6 figures. I should be making, like, it's like when you put that pressure on yourself, I should have this, I should have that. It just creates all kinds of negative energy around what it is you may be trying to create.
Right.
And then the last one is try. I'm going to try to lose weight. I'm going to try to build a business. I'm going to try. And try, this one is the one we want to go like a little deeper in. Try is...
Jenny hates this one.
I don't know. I just think it's such a weak word. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's just weak. It's an easy out. You know, it's like this gentle way to let someone down. I'm going to try to do it. I mean, try doesn't have any of that power behind it. So there's that aspect where it's like, I'm going to try to make it, because if you just say like no to somebody, no, I can't do it. I mean, I'd say try still, because once again, these things may still happen in your life, and you may have not said them at one point in your life. They came back in, and now it's time to, you know, get them back out again. And so it's sometimes a polite way of being like, oh, I'll try to make it, when you really have no intention of making it there.
This is interesting, which didn't come up at dinner. So I'm interested. This just popped in my head. All you guys watching now with like kids, even you're watching with watching a replay, like, do you tell your kids try? Because thinking back, like now, my mom would, or my dad, you know, try this, try that, try that. So how is that? I'm putting a little devil's advocate spin on it. Like, how would that play into this conversation?
Well, I think it depends on how you're using it, right? Because it's like, what is the energy behind the word? Because when it's like, you know, I'm going to try to make sales calls this week, I'm going to try to reach out to some people, right? Like, there's just a lower vibration of energy behind that word. And that's why I say it's a really weak word. When it's like, you have a goal, I'm going to try to lose weight, I'm going to try to eat healthier this week. It's like you want to put yourself out there, but you're afraid to fail. So like, if you say you'll try, it's like you gave yourself an out or whatever. It's not as bad. But when it's an empowering thing,
I want you guys to weigh in on this. And let's not get like crazy in the comments, because I definitely don't want to start an argument about what's right or what's wrong. I think the thing I love about this show is people, we're allowed to voice our opinion so we can learn from each other. So having a child, which we don't have, like, how would that play? I mean, I could understand that being an adult, but if you start, you know, that at a younger age, and maybe that's one of the things that plays into the whole try thing.
It might, because I was going to say on the other side of that, the energy behind trying something new can be really encouraging, because it's like, maybe you've never played shuffleboard before. And I say that because there's free shuffleboard on Friday nights here, and I played for the first time recently, and I'm trying. I want to get some friends to come. And so when they're like, shuffleboard's for old people, I'm like, well, just come out and try it. Like, you have nothing to lose trying it once. So I think it depends on the energy behind the try. And we're curious to hear from you guys too, because I would think for the kids, it's like the energy behind trying it for a first time. Right. Give it a try. Like, try it out, right? Because see, there's like no harm, no foul. Because if you don't like it, no big deal. Here, try broccoli. Just try it. Try it one time. But then when it goes behind like a goal or something you're trying to reach, and then it becomes like the lower energy part of the easy out, I think. I
would love to hear you guys weigh in on
that. Rachel said she'll come play shuffleboard. Okay. Yay! So yeah, weigh in on the try thing, because that's a good point, but I feel like it has to do with the energy behind the try. All right, number 3 for you analyticals out there. Jay, are you taking notes? 3, just kidding. Is negative actions and negative feelings. So for example, this could be comparing yourself to others, judging others, complaining. So comparing yourself to others is, you know, I'm not as good as she is, or I'm not as far as she is, or I'm not as whatever as he is. Any other examples?
No, those are good.
I mean, really, because then it's like, you don't know how long they've been doing it. You don't know what they've done in their life.
Right.
Especially with health and fitness, like, oh, I'm not as skinny as she is, or I'm not as ripped as he is. Well, maybe they've been at it for 10 years.
And 2, genes play a big part in that area.
Yes. And then judging others. That energy that goes along with judging others can bring your vibration and energy down,
which is such a subconscious thing now. Not subconscious, but it's just we do it in unintentionally. It just happens. Yeah, sometimes it's very intentional, and sometimes we do it like not notice that we do it.
Right. And I mean, it's just becoming aware, because we'll get into like that aspect of it, but it's like just being aware of that. Then the last one is complaining, and this is the one that we're going to unpack a little bit more. Complaining. I mean, the big thing and the whole reason behind why I'm sorry, I can't help it. This is cheesy. Just put like, you're cheesy, Jenny, but this is like genuine. Like why I wrote this book is because it's like, if you're trying to go after something and you're complaining along the way, it's like you either complain and stay where you are, or you shift your energy, shift your frame of mind, shift your words, shift your empowering like stance, and work towards something. I'm being very vague, but it's like, if you want something in your life, if you want to travel more, if you want to find a career you like, if you want more money, if you want to be the ideal body and the health that you've always wanted to, but along the way you're complaining about how horrible your situation is.
I think it's not. It's very simple. It's a very simple concept. I feel other people might feel this thing. This is my personal philosophy on this. Life is basically moving you towards something. Your choices in life are either moving you towards something or away from something. Moving toward is the more positive energy. Moving away is the more negative energy. I want to lose weight because I don't like how my clothes fit me. That's an example of moving away. I want to lose weight because I want to be more active and enjoy, more physical things. That's an example of the energy moving towards something. Mm-hmm. So once I feel if people are able to break down, we tend to make things too complicated. If you're able to break down that, is this choice, is this decision, even if these words, the way that I'm speaking, are they moving me towards something or moving me away from something? And once you figure that out, you can tweak wherever and whatever you need to tweak.
Going back to the last thing we talked about, Janice made a good comment. She said, it's like saying, I'm going to try to sit down. You either sit or you don't. If you're trying to sit, then guess what you're doing? What's the yoga pose? The one where you're like the chair,
which is a form of sitting because you need a chair to sit down.
Well, no, but you're not sitting in a chair.
But my whole point is
okay. Well, I was just thinking, like, you're not sitting. You're like in this like.
That's what I mean. It's straight to the point. You either do or you don't. There's no try.
But with the complaining thing, because that's what we were going into. I just went back to Janice's. It's like those negative actions and feelings around the complaining. There are so many. I mean, I'm just trying to. My mind is going so many directions because it's like there's so many things that we complain about without even knowing it or not even being realized. You know what? I will say this. If you find that you're complaining about your situation or what's going on frequently, what I do sometimes with friends is if we are frustrated about a certain circumstance, whatever it is, we'll give ourselves like a window on the complaining. We'll say, okay, we can complain for 5 to 10 minutes and then it stops. Whatever that time frame is, because I think it's good to get some of those frustrations out, but put barriers on it. Put something around it that says, hey, we're just going to let it loose and get it out, but we're not going to continue with this energy.
Another way in, you guys. Complaining versus venting.
Okay.
Love to hear your thoughts about that one.
What are your thoughts?
I think they're two different things. I think venting is a form of getting that off of your chest, mm-hmm. and then you carry on. Complaining is something you consistently do.
But what if you're venting consistently?
Well, that's not venting. That's complaining.
Well, right. So I vent a lot. But what do you guys think between venting and complaining? You know, because I need that space to let it out because I'm such a touchy feely kinesthetic, and I like to talk through some of my things.
Okay, well,
I like that space to let it out.
Complaining about the same thing over and over is complaining. So if you're still talking about the same situation that continues to happen, you're complaining about that situation.
Okay.
Because like you realize, or you should realize, that apparently that situation isn't going to change anytime soon. So then it's complaining. Ooh. That's my opinion.
Okay, so here's a good example. So in the past, when I got out of like a really long-term relationship and I started dating again, and I was dating people, and the relationship that I was in, after the fact, of course, I felt like he was such a loser. So as I was dating people, I kept dating people and I kept saying like, God, why are all the people I'm finding and dating all losers? Like all the people that are here that are available are all losers. All of them are just people who don't fit me right, etc. I kept saying that over and over and over and telling people and just being on the market. And the thing that was so funny about all that is that one day I realized
guys suck.
Yeah, I realized holy shit, I am saying this, so I continue to attract all these losers in my life. So the minute that I recognized that and I stepped into a different energy and started asking different questions, I started attracting all kinds of different people, which one of them was Jay. But I mean, it's like, just think about those things that you're saying in your own life where this is happening. I mean, this is a big deal. So now that we've gone through, some dirty words and how they're in your life, I mean, really it's just, the big thing is being aware. We've created this space for your awareness to bubble up to the top.
Hopefully gets you thinking about some stuff.
And just recognizing and maybe looking for a buddy. Find a buddy in your life who can maybe call you out when you're saying some of these negative things.
This battle buddy.
Not even maybe, that will call you out, not maybe.
This battle buddy cannot be complaining. Mm-hmm. You can't be like, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, I agree. That's not helping either one of you. So you need to find somebody who's, a little bit positive than you are. Hopefully positive.
Positive?
Yes. Yeah, positive.
A little positive.
A little bit more positive than you are. So, you guys, and it's going to be a give and take type of thing. So when that person is down, you have to be the one to pull them up, and vice versa. So accountability, that's what accountability is about. Like you said, you definitely need somebody to call you on your shit.
Yeah.
No matter what. That's what I love about my influence of friends is when I want to send out invitations to pity parties, they gladly decline and tell me their reasons why, and quickly, help me cancel those pity parties. So it's very, 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 very beneficial to your well-being to have those type of people around you.
I agree. And I mean, the big thing is just noticing too when some of these things are taking place, whether it's an I word or a negative word or a negative feeling or action. Notice what your body feels like. Notice where it shows up in your body. Notice how you're feeling. Notice how you're breathing. Just be aware. That's it. And so I hope that this helps you. And when you grab your buddy and you go through things, you can always come back to this video and rewatch it.
Tag your buddy in this video.
Ooh, yeah. Tag your buddy in this video because then they can go by the same thing and learnings as you. I love you. He's gonna be yelling at me after. I can't wait. He's gonna be in a very nice way, joking. It's not gonna be anything bad. It'll all be like, I can't believe you made fun of me, and I'll be like, haha. Meaner dogs. Meaner dogs. All right, so my stuff got out of whack. Okay. So we gave you a lot of tools today. We talked about some dirty words. We hope that you're able to take some of this, and not even hope. We want you to take some of this. See, I've already become aware of my own words. We set the intention for you to take some of these learnings back into your life.
And you can always reference this video, so it's not like you don't have the info.
Yes. And I've been working on a lot of things. We've been working on a lot of things, and I have a special offer for you tonight. So if some of this has been resonating with you and you really feel like, you're looking for some more clarity and guidance on some things, as you already saw. So basically what I put together, and as you see, my name is Jenny Holla now, but this is my maiden name. And I have a couple of these left over before I get them printed with my new awesome name, with my amazing man that I attracted into my life. And so basically what I did is I put something special together for you guys. So what you'll get in here is you'll get more of the dirty words. You'll get the full list.
There's a whole lot of them.
Chapter 2 is power of a positive mindset. So that'll go into like turning negative thoughts into positive thoughts. So what I did is if you go to www.rockyourlifestyle.com, so the title of the book, you'll get that plus this audio coaching program, which this is on turning negative thoughts into positive thoughts. You'll get them both. I've got them priced at $20, but because you were on the live, we have a special code for you. So all lowercase, if you do RYLS25, it'll give you $5 off, 25% off. And so you can get these, and I only have, I think, like 25 left. So once they're gone, they're gone. And remember, like, share, comment. Great Cycle Challenge.
Great Cycle Challenge. Fighting Kids Cancer for the month of June. We pledged to ride 100 miles. We are still so close to our $500 donation mark.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't even know where I was going.
No,
with
I
that.
didn't. I got excited.
So excited.
I did. Your turn.
We are so close to our $500 donation mark. You guys can still donate. We're even closer to our 100-mile mark. You can go now.
Our goal of 100 miles. We're at 70. So we have 30 left. We're already planning when we're going to ride this week and how we're going to knock them out. And I'm out of town 3 days, so it's just going to be wonderful. It's going to be amazing. And then remember, if you want to talk about any of this deeper, you want to ask the questions about what we talked about today or any other show, and you want to go into deeper conversations, come to the Healthy Hollastic group, post any questions in there. And next week for the show, part 2, about what we just talked about today. So we're going to go into the second part.
You guys didn't even know this was part 1.
Yeah, part 1.
Surprise!
By the way, part 2 is next week. So we're going to be going into the mental chatter and more of the energy that's more of the inside. So we talked about today, like the outside stuff, and it still comes from the inside, but next week we'll talk about the outside. Anything else?
I think that's it. Oh, our dog says hello.
Yeah, Nietzsche says hi. And he says, woof. I was trying to think of what a dog could say that would be really cool, and the only thing I thought of was woof.
All right.
All right, guys.
And on that note,
put your hand up.